Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we are covering all of the upcoming products for the OCG and the TCG alike. There are so many things going on all at once in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's really hard to keep track of. So I like making these videos to help anybody who kind of hasn't really sorted it all out for themselves, because it does take quite a bit to do so. Just to give them an idea of hey, these products are coming here, these at this time, these products are coming at this time. Hey, be aware of these reveals are coming. They could be really hyped. Keep an eye out for them if that's something you might be looking forward to, as well as even just the TCG products and being hey, these are dropping right now. So you be aware. You can allocate time and financial stuff to make sure you're able to get what you want to get when stuff is coming. I think it all just makes sense, and hopefully this video makes that a lot easier for someone to kind of understand when's the timeline of when all this new stuff is coming. So I like to break it up into two parts. Obviously, it makes sense to kind of break it up into OCG and TCG because we don't get the OCG products, but the OCG reveals tend to be more hype, just because they actually get new cards revealed, whereas in the TCG a lot of times we just get the same stuff the OCG just got, but 3 months later. So we'll do the OCG stuff first to talk about what big, cool archetypal reveals are coming, and then we can talk about the TCG side of things on when we're actually going to get some of these products, and what else. There's still going to be some reveals for the TCG side as well. So let's start off, and we're going to go in chronological order, what's coming first to what's coming latest. Let's start with the first product, Terminal World 2. This actually comes out later this month, November 23rd in the OCG. That's really nice. We have basically everything for this set. The only thing we do not have is 4 brand new Necros cards. Now that's pretty hype. Necros has been a meta archetype before, so giving a past meta archetype 4 new cards, that's quite scary, especially knowing how good some of the Terminal World support has been so far. Yeah, if you're a Necros fan, stay tuned, because I think in the next week and a half, we're going to get those 4 cards revealed, and you're going to know whether or not Necros is going to be able to compete again in modern day. We've already seen Voiceless Voice be a good modern day ritual deck, so I think it's totally possible. We'll just have to see how Konami does it. So there you go. There's the first thing. Second product, Quarter Century Trinity Box. We jump all the way to December 21st here, right before Christmas. This box is cool, but if you haven't heard, it's kind of small. It only has 6 new cards in it, but those 6 cards are still pretty hype. This set is basically confirmed to have 2 Orcus cards. We've already had them revealed. It has a new Link 1 for Orcus that's really, really strong. And we're still set to get 2 Dragon Maid cards and 2 Punk cards as well. All archetypes that have seen some competitive success in the past, and not that far out of, reach even. They're not super old or anything. So I actually think if these 2 cards are as good as potentially the leaks that have kind of floated around say they are, they actually might be, all 3 of these archetypes might be back up in contention for being really good competitive decks yet again. I'm very excited to see the confirmation on what these other 2 decks end up getting. All right, so there you go. Just three new archetypal support stuff in that set. Now we jump to Premium Pack 2025, actually also coming out on December 21st. So there's actually these things combined actually make for some good stuff right before December for the OCG. So Premium Pack takes a bunch of manga cards and actually prints them into the physical card game. And all we really know is the date and then what's on the box, which does have some information. Going back and looking through the manga, you can actually cross-reference some of the artwork that's shown here with, some cards utilized in the manga. So just for your information, just so you have an idea, shout out to Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization for even doing all this. We have a new version of Crowley from Magistus, some form of Zorua from Magistus. So 2 new Magistus cards already shown on the artwork here. Wenko, the Noble Knight of the Forest. So a new Noble Knight card. That could be cool for warrior players. Mystic Potato, fun. A monster resembling Spider Shark. So maybe even more shark support. Sharks have been eating good for a long time now in Yu-Gi-Oh! Motor Kaiser, no idea what that card is. And then lastly, a monster resembling Titanic Galaxy. So maybe even a rank 8 or even just Galaxy support pairing well with like the Tachyon cards that came out somewhat recently. So that's the stuff we know from the cover, but this is only really 7 cards ish, so that's only like a third of the cards that are going to come anyway. So just keep an eye on that. We're going to creep up. That's 20 new cards in this set as we creep up, and we're like a month and a half away from both of these small products. So we're going to start getting these trickled in pretty soon anyway. Towards probably the end of November, we'll start getting these cards trickled out as well. Which brings us to our final OCG product that we need to cover, and that's Alliance Insight. This is the next core set after Supreme Darkness. It has not been revealed at all, basically anything for this. The only thing we know is that it's coming January 25th, so a month after those last 2 products. I would expect that at some time in November, this month, they're going to reveal the cover art for the set, as well as like the first reveals for whatever that cover art is, whatever the boss monster is, the support surrounding that. So it'll be somewhere between like 6 and 9 cards for whatever anime relevant archetype they choose to put on Alliance Insight, and go from there. I guess it's also important to note Duelist Alliance is one of the most impactful core sets in Yu-Gi-Oh's history. This card sharing some of that name in here could bode for some of the same support for like archetypes that got crazy in that set, or just like them trying to like just mirror that a little bit and actually have like make this like a really impactful set as well. I don't know exactly what they're going to do with it because we have no reveals so far, but yeah, I'm expecting first reveals in November, and then probably halfway through December, they'll actually start getting into the more regular reveals where every day, they're kind of dropping like a small thing here or there, and then slowly, you know what I mean, releasing stuff for the set until the set comes out at the end of January. So stay tuned for that. A lot of people are really hype on this set just based on the name, but we'll obviously have to see as the reveals start coming out. So those are your OCG products. Now we need to move to the TCG side of things. A little bit more boring just because some of these sets just don't even really have new stuff. It's just like reprints we're waiting on. But there's some stuff here. So the first one is Crossover Breakers. This is coming in almost exactly a month, December 6th for us in the TCG. It has 3 new archetypes. It's a deck build pack. So Ryziel, Malice, and Yugioh. Malice and Yugioh are looking to be meta contenders immediately on release, which is very exciting. Usually deck build packs don't have multiple meta, you know what I mean, like capable archetypes at the same time, but that's really cool. The only thing we don't know about this set is all the reprints. We know what the new cards do, we just don't know if there's going to be any extra reprints that are really good and help the value of the set get better, because deck build packs tend to not be the most financially stable products out there, right? After that, we move to Supreme Darkness. This is coming in January, right next to Alliance Insight in the OCG, January 24th for us. We know the whole 80 card set. There's some cool stuff. I think this set was looking like it could be a terrible set, but they actually kind of redeemed it a little bit at the end with final reveals. So I think it's more like an okay set. There's going to be a little something for everybody, but we also don't know everything, because when this set comes up and we're actually getting it, we're going to find out what the newest TCG exclusive archetype is. And you guys know how much I like Mimigul, so if they keep that trend up and make a new archetype doesn't have to be meta, but it can be just solid, good start with a cool, unique play style, I'm all about it. Secondly, there's going to be some OCG imports and other random TCG exclusive cards at the end of the set as well. It's really hard to guess on what exact cards those are going to end up being, but there is some options for them to import, like some of the Magistus cards and stuff into the set, and that could be cool. There could be some good value stuff. Like in the most recent set, we got Alcanics, which is a huge card for Fire King, and now it's like maybe the best deck in the game, and that card's a staple in that deck. So keep that in mind. So that's what we're waiting for then. I wouldn't expect to find out any of that stuff until like right before the set. So I would say like one of the first or second week of January, when the set gets distributed and starts getting opened early, we'll find out what the rest of the set has. But until then, we're waiting. Structure Deck Blue Eyes White Destiny. We waited a long time to get this Structure Deck imported over to us. I mean, we're almost like, at this point, feels like 6 months behind the OCG on this. At least when this is actually coming out, but at least we're still getting in Structure Deck form, so that's nice. As far as what we're waiting for, we're basically waiting on reprints. We know the new cards here. We even know some of the really good reprints that like Ash, Imperm, Nib, Veiler are all in this Structure Deck, which is a really nice just starter kit, you know, hand trap lineup for somebody to get started with, which is really cool. Maybe there's another really good reprint or two in there, probably a lot of Blue Eyes cards, but That's really all we're waiting for there. That's coming out February 7th, and we probably will find that out pretty close to that date when it's actually getting opened. And lastly, the final set we need to talk about today is Maze of the Master. This is probably the most exciting set for the TCG as far as like what's to come from it, as far as like reveals and stuff. So there's two things, right? This set, if you did not hear already, this set is absorbing Animation Chronicle 2024's reveals. That's a set in the OCG that comes out every year that we don't have a straight set that it goes into that every time, so they have to import into something else. So this set is taking in Animation Chronicle 2024. There's like 30 cards in there. It wasn't the best year for Animation Chronicle, I'll be honest, as far as like competitive viability, but there's still some interesting stuff in there. The bigger one is definitely Duelist Pack, Duelist of Brilliance. I'm glad it's getting thrown in here because the Duelist Packs tend to not be super worth it sets, and cards end up being super expensive. So hopefully if they split some of the value in this set, they become a little bit easier to get. I'm hoping, but this pack has new Trickstar cards, new ABC Union cards, and new Tachyon Galaxy cards. All that are pretty decent, to be honest. Like all three archetypes may actually be rogue decks with the new support, which is really cool. But the spiciest thing from this new set is this. New cards inspired by Odeon from the original series are coming, and based on the math of the set, there should be 9 new Odeon cards. Maybe 8, but like 8 or 9 Odeon cards here. It's really cool. A lot of people are obviously speculating that it's going to be a trap monster archetype like Odeon played. Makes a lot of sense just because we've gotten the Silhouette Rabbit stuff recently. So like there's some really good recent support that like synergizes really well with what a potential Odeon archetype could be. I hope it's decent, right? Last year we got the Flame Swordsman archetype. The year before that, I think we got the Gate Guardian support, right? Neither of those really hit that hard competitively, and not that I need Odeon's cards to be meta, but like if they're just okay and they can be like a rogue deck or an engine in other decks as like maybe searchable off of Silhouette Rabbit and go from there, like there could actually be some really cool applications there. So I hope they execute it decently well, but we'll obviously have to see. That's another one where because it's just the because it's TCG exclusive, we're not going to find out until the set starts getting opened. So kind of similar to Supreme Darkness, I don't expect to find out until probably the first week or two of February when the set's getting opened prematurely, and we actually start seeing those new Odeon cards. And then there's going to be a bunch of reprints as well. We'll find those out in that timeline at the same time, but that's basically all we're waiting for there. So, yeah, there you go. That's kind of where we're left. There's a lot of stuff coming here. Obviously, as some of these get opened and revealed, we will then, get more products announced. So in a couple months, I'll probably make a similar video to this one, just talking about the newer products that have kind of been announced and the timeline there to keep everybody up to date. But I really like making these videos. I think it can be really helpful to somebody who doesn't pay super close attention to the timeline of Yu-Gi-Oh news. And also just keep an eye on like what they need to be ready for financially, time-wise, or whatever, all that stuff. So I like it. I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see Odeon's cards. I'm really excited to see what's in Alliance Insight, and I'm really excited to see what like the Magistus cards are going to be for Premium Pack. Like those are the 3 things I'm eyeing up right now that are like the most hyped to me. But I want to know from you guys, what is your most hyped thing coming down the pipeline in Yu-Gi-Oh news? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But I'm out of here for today. Subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date on all things Yu-Gi-Oh news going forward. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.